So just 5 quick reasons why theologically we should be engaged in this issue as if you need them. Next slide. This is Shahabona and her daughter Fatima are wading through floodwaters to get clean water near their homes in Bangladesh. As you know, floods often destroy people's homes and crops, which is a direct result of climate change rooted partly in carbon emissions. And while it may not affect some of us as gravely in the UK, we know many of the world's poorest people are in the front line when it comes to the impact, despite contributing very little to the problem. So it is a social justice matter. It matters what we are doing for the poor, for the least of these, our brothers and sisters. Next slide. Second, the environmental issues cause demographic shifts, and while war and conflict are a key cause of refugee crises, so too is environmental degradation. And this crisis has been knocking on Europe's door for some time, as we know, and the knocking is getting louder. We are interconnected and interdependent, and to live as if we are not courts certain disaster. Social justice, interdependence, and third, next slide, stewardship, obviously, following Genesis 1 in particular. But we need to hold together here how human rule is connected with the expression of the image of God in Genesis. Because stewardship is not about a bald assertion of power, not a matter of use, but of care. What links humanity's stewardship to the image of God is that this stewardship is about a delegated participation in God's caring rule over his creatures. Fourth, our place in creation. It is noteworthy that while many readers of Genesis 1 presume the rest of creation was created for the sake of human beings, there is no support for that in the text. Realizing our place in creation is significant, and it is also a question of health and wholeness. Next slide. Wendell Berry provocatively suggests that to talk of the health of an isolated individual is a contradiction in terms, that the smallest unit of health it makes sense to talk of is the health of a community, in its fullest sense, including relationship to others and place, the health of this place, and so on. A healthy person is only healthy by reference to this community, and health is about reconciliation with creation, an aspiration, a call to heal, to be realized in the fullness of time, but nonetheless that upon which our health depends. Fifth and final slide, and far from exhaustively, as Christians, our relationship with creation needs to be understood with the end in mind, indeed shaped by the end in mind. Tom Wright, the New Testament scholar, points out that popular Christianity has tended to think of a non-biblical vision of heaven and hell instead of the revolutionary kingdom of God, so that confusingly we imagine life beyond death as playing harps on fluffy clouds in some soft focus ethereal realm, or alternatively being prodded by tridents at a very uncomfortable and interminable barbecue. That is not the scriptural view, which holds that the future is actually a new heavens and a new earth. This heavens and this earth brought together by God's grace and in which we are called to reign with God. The big show is not a heaven somewhere else, but finally the marriage of this earth, this cosmos, and heaven, as exemplified by celebrating the descent of the New Jerusalem to earth in Revelation. A new heavens and a new earth. And as Wendell Berry notes from Matthew 6, the first principle of the kingdom of God is that it includes everything. In it, the fall of the sparrow is a significant event. If we get our goal and our aim and our end right, maybe we'll get our thinking and acting right, and understand that our vocation as image bearers is to reflect the praises of creation back to Creator, to reflect the Creator's wise and loving stewardship into the world in partnership with God. And this vocation is to be embraced not next year, not next week, but now.